Hello there. All right, so we're going to take a look at water considerations. Okay, so understand that Air Force Security Forces, some of our other career fields besides maybe AFSOC, we're really not used to being dismounted, just being dropped off in the middle of nowhere for 1 to 3 days, like we're currently doing at these contingency locations for the whole Agile Combat Employment bit. So one of the things we got to really get a hold of is how can I carry as much water on my person that I'm going to need for the 1 to 3 days. So a couple of ways that I ended up doing it. One, on my plate carrier, I ended up carrying this right here. This is actually a Life Straw water bottle. I took the filter out of it, and I really have this just because it was the exact perfect size to fit in that Cry Precisions, that water bottle radio pouch. So that would be able to have water on my person. I can get at it, and of course I can also put just regular water bottles inside that pouch. Really, I carry that pouch because I used to have to carry 2 radios. I didn't get the second radio this time, so actually able to carry that water on my person. So, very helpful. Besides that, when it's actually kind of moved to the ruck, this year I'm actually taking most of my water out. And yes, I still do use a Camelback. So on the top of my ruck, I have this right here. So it's one of the larger Camelbacks. And this right here is actually from a Tactical Tailor. This is their Camelback holder. I've had this for, like 15 years now. It does have the MOLLE, so it can attach to the back of a plate carrier. I used this in Afghanistan in 2011, but really I put the Camelback inside here to make sure it doesn't get punctured or cut. So very helpful to have. And because I didn't know if I was actually gonna have my water bottle on my person, what I did the morning before I left was, you can see on the back here, these are actually the puzzle pieces from L4 Performers. You can make a chest rig. What I did was I just kind of attached these to the back with some of the malice clips. And then this right here, these are actually the straps from my chest rig, that WCSIG, the chest rig from L4 Performance. I actually have my ARS Bravo harness on that. So I stole these straps and kind of built myself a backpack. Understand if you have an actual Camelback backpack holder, that'll work just fine. I don't have one of those, and this here was something I kind of jerry rigged early Monday morning before I stepped off. So this here was just nice to have, super easy to throw on. It's actually pretty lightweight. Of course, empty water right now, but just something helpful to have. But yeah, this here is what I'm drinking most of my water from, is gonna be that Camelback. So actually on my ruck itself, so of course on the front, on either side of the belt, I have the 1-quart canteens. And I do have the pouches that have a little bit of extra space on either side. And of course I do still have some of those, some of the little tablets. That way I can actually, if I am getting some water that I'm not too sure about, if I go ahead and refill it, I've got those right there. I also have a water filter on my person, right? Also from Life Straw. So got a couple of things where I can actually carry water on my person. Of course I can filter it. I can clean it with those little pills. So something helpful to have. But really, one of the biggest things I've got on here was kind of how can I do this? These are those large, the U.S. Marine Corps, their hydration, bladder, pouches. They're for the 3-liter, Camelback pouches. I think they're made by Source or some of the ones I've seen. I don't have any of those, but I've actually been using these ones right here to actually stick my MREs and cold weather gear on the side of. So instead, I left 2 MREs on the bottom, and I actually just put my 2-quart canteens sitting right on top of those and actually close those in. So I'm actually able to use these 2-quart canteens to refill my Camelback. So I have 2 2-quart canteens on either side, 2 1-quart canteens on either side, a full Camelback, and of course this smaller one is here on my plate carrier. And these are here are all filled up before I even leave. So this is something that I filled up at the main operating base before we even went out to that forward operating site, just because I didn't know about the water that was going to be there. And then of course taking it out to that contingency location, I need to have water to last me 1 to 3 days. Some considerations for other career fields and even for security forces. So you have to have ways to carry water. Okay. Everybody was issued out 1-quart canteen with their gas mask. Just you had it. And that was it. Nobody else had any other way to actually store water. Nobody else had any other canteens. A couple people had Camelbacks, but it just was not enough. So one of the things we ended up doing was our contracting specialist actually got with our host nation people and purchased a crap ton of bottled water. So we had 2 giant A bags for 25 folks just filled with water. We actually unloaded that off the back of the C-130. It worked. That was definitely a quick fix, but these guys did not have the training at all. They did not have the equipment. So that was kind of a emergency thing. Let's see what we can do. And that of course ended up working out, but not the way that we want to go. Okay. So if you are in any of those bases, those ACC, AMC bases, even the guard guys that are doing it, if you guys are doing anything with ACE, make sure it's at 2-quart canteens, Camelbacks, 1-quart canteens. no matter what, have a way to actually carry that water. All right, you need water. Can't stress that enough, especially where we're at here in the South. It's very, very hot, very, very humid. I drink a lot of water, so carry it on your person because you're probably not going to end up getting a resupply. So if you guys have any questions on this, please let me know. Hope it helps. Later, guys.